All right, guys, let's take a look at reducing fractions and think a little more deeply about it. Like usually when you first start getting taught to reduce fractions, or if you think back to like elementary school when you learned it, it's a lot of what will both of these divide by? And you're just magically supposed to think of some random number, it seems like, right? Between 42 and 105 that doesn't just seem like an obvious solution of what they'll both divide by. And then you divide both of them by that and you get this reduced fraction. And so, I don't see anything in common. Like they're not both even, so I can't divide them both by 2. I can start to think of some other divisibility rules, but let me show you a different way. Okay. I want you to think instead of what could you multiply to get 42? Now, you have a few different options, but for me, I just think 6 times 7. So I'm going to put 6 times 7 here. And for 105, I don't really just off the top of my head know, oh, that's something times something. But I see that it ends with a 5, so I know it'll divide by 5. Um, so I am going to think, okay, so 5 times what? Well, 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 1 is 5. Yeah, 21 times 5. That gives me 105. Okay, so 5 times 21. Okay, great. 6 and 7 and 5 and 21. Still don't see anything that's really super helpful at this point, but I know that 6, I could break that apart. 6 is just 2 times 3, and I'll bring the 7 over. And then for 21, I know that's 7 times 3, right? Now we start to see where this gets much simpler. So we've got a 3 divided by 3, which is 1. We usually say those cancel. And so, yeah, the 3's mark out, right? So 3 divided by 3 is 1. The 7's cancel. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And we're left with 2 on top and 5 on the bottom. And that is the reduced fraction here, 2/5. Turns out the 21 was the greatest common factor. 21 is the number that you were supposed to think of as the one that would divide out here. If you're like me, you didn't necessarily think of that. So I hope that this is a helpful way to do it. I'm going to show it to you again just to let you know that you could divide by or you could think of other combinations and it's still going to work. Maybe you thought, well, half of 42 is 21. So 21 times 2 would work here. And I'm still going to stick with 5 times 21. But notice here, now the 21s can just cancel, right? 21 divided by 21 is 1. It just goes away. And so we're left with 2/5. So it gives us the same answer that way as well. So it's not like you have to think of a certain way to multiply it. No, you just think, what could you multiply to get that number? And you keep narrowing it down or, breaking it down until you're down to just things that either, they won't cancel or they won't break apart. And that's your reduced fraction. So I hope that that's really, really helpful. And I've got other examples that should be showing up here if you want to just practice some more. All right. I'll see you next time.